Greetings and welcome to this week's edition of 401k Real Talk. This is Fred Barstein, contributing editor at wealthmanagement.com's RPA Edge and CEO at Trout, TPSU, and 401k TV. I review all of last week's stories and select the 5 most important and interesting ones, providing open, honest, and candid discussion you will not get anywhere else. So let's get real. First story, with the dramatic collapse of cryptocurrency and the bankruptcy filing by FTX, the question of whether cryptocurrencies are appropriate investments in DC plans has been renewed. The DOL guidance last March told ERISA fiduciaries to use extreme caution when reviewing cryptocurrency and warned them to expect an investigation even if it was made available through a brokerage window. All of which came on the heels of Fidelity and For Us All announcing that they would be making crypto available to DC clients. For Us All, which sued the DOL for overreaching, told the court that they would drop the suit if the DOL rescinded the guidance. And while most industry experts are skeptical about including cryptocurrency in DC plans, recent research by Capitalize showed that 60% of investors would like access, especially younger workers, according to Schwab research. Many legal experts agree that the DOL went too far with their crypto guidance, not allowing normal procedures, perhaps creating a dangerous precedent of recommending which types of investments should or should not be included in DC plans, rather than recommending a prudent process. Next story, now that the midterm election results are almost in, do the results bode well for the passage of Secure 2.0? Though retirement policy generally has bipartisan support, this type of legislation only passes when attached to another bill like year-end funding. Secure 1.0, for example, was agreed to in principle in 2015, but did not pass until the end of 2019. Though some experts believe that Secure 2.0 has a better chance with control of both houses by Democrats, most believe it will pass eventually if and when retirement access and readiness becomes critical, including the Earn and Rise and Shine Act, which had overwhelming support. And we'll see if at year end it gets included in this year's funding bill. Next story, speaking of Secure 2.0, Alight conducted research with employers about their perspectives about the bill and found 56% were very interested in the catch-up provisions. Only 25% were very interested in the student loan repayment sections, and just 7% were keen on making more temp workers eligible. Provisions to make Roth contributions eligible for a match had a tepid response, as did the elimination of penalties for withdrawals by victims of domestic violence. Not covered in the research were the tax incentive for smaller entities, as Alight clients tend to be much larger, as well as auto features, which has mostly been adopted by the institutional market. Next story, in my column last week, I noted that although we still have lots of work to do to help the 97% of participants without access to traditional advisors, there are some signs of progress. What's working is academic research, like the studies that heralded the auto features, initial successes in engaging people close to retirement, and the launch of the Portability Service Network by Fidelity, Alight, and Vanguard, creating a data exchange. Not working are financial wellness apps that struggle to get engagement and change behavior, education that reinforces shame, lack of access to data, and the fight between advisors and record keepers over participant services. In this week's column, I try to find some hope, without much success, that wealth advisors will eventually become interested in DC plans as the small and startup market explodes due in part to state mandates. Finally, I wrote a column on 401k TV about the one question plan sponsors can ask their advisor to determine if they need to make a change. And that question is, should I engage an independent third party to conduct due diligence on you? Advisors who say no are in trouble, as 47% of plans are actively looking for a new advisor, according to Fidelity Research. But more enlightened RPAs not only answer yes, they encourage their clients to conduct third-party due diligence. 10 to 15 years ago, record keepers pushed back on advisors about the need for an RFP and independent due diligence. It's deja vu for advisors, or maybe karma, as the wave is coming, which will expose naked swimmers. So those were the most important stories from the last week. I listed a few others that I thought were worth reading. Otherwise, I look forward to speaking to you next week on 401k Real Talk.